Îl invit pe colegul meu din Polonia, Piotr Zajkowski, ca să ne prezinte experiența deja de mai bine de 5 ani în lucru cu fermierii dânsului. Piotr?
Thank you very much. It's a really great pleasure for me to be at such audience. Well, I feel very small. In fact, I visited Romanian farms this spring, and I was really impressed. So, well, we are working with Delta and generally eCoCulture since 5 years. And that's why I'm here, because Dan asked me to present a little bit about our experience, which I believe they are interesting. So, started from the little history, and the beginning and the first year were really very difficult. Because, well, I really appreciate your audience. Because when we started to present the presentation, as Martin did, the people started to laugh. Because how to do reduction of 70 kilo of nitrogen with the 5-6 kilo of the nitrogen. The people were started to laugh, and really, nobody believes. That's why, in the first years, it was really difficult to enter the market. Then, after a few years, more and more people were really seeing the product is working. That's why in last year we jumped to 350 tons, and actual order for the January is 500 tons, which is for sure not the end for the next season. So this is why I'm showing this, because this is the explanation that the product is working. Because the farmers, not we as a salesman, the farmers accepted the product and recognize the advantages, why it's happened. First, of course, we started with the small plots, as always. And you may see, based on the different varieties, the advantages of using Delta. In all these cases, the nitrogen fertilization, the standard nitrogen fertilization, was cut by 20%, and Delta was applied 3 times. It means 15 liters of Delta, which giving us 3 something pure nitrogen. And you see everywhere we have the yield increasement. The same story we did, of course, in the normal fields at the farm side. And you see situation is more or less the same. Of course, as usual with the trials, the yields are higher. But in case of the normal fields, it as well was not better, because the yields we were receiving was around 9 tons as a standard, and adding Delta give us additional yield increasement. What was the major observation everybody had? You see the difference in the color. Unfortunately, it's maybe slightly too light in this room to see the very big difference. But generally, we observe that using Delta give us at least 1 week longer vegetation. So this is one of the reasons why we jump with the yield. This picture you already seen, so I will not stop on it too long. But another factor which was extremely important for our farmers is the matter of the quality of the yield. So you see the yield was grown, but in the same time, which is very difficult to achieve, the parameters also grown. The gluten, the falling number, all these qualities grown comparing to the standard fertilization. And that was the reason why farmers started to believe the product. Another trial. All of these are coming from the production field. They are not the trials, they are absolutely production field. So, rape. As a standard in Poland, we are using around 120 kilograms. In case of Delta, we go for 80 kilograms of nitrogen. Again, the same story. Probably you see closer. Okay. You see the difference in the coloration. It means the difference in the vegetation. The same story. The using of Delta, elongate the vegetation period. It means giving the chance for the higher yield. So this is the result from that trials you've seen on the picture. And anyway, you see there was an increasement of 200 kilograms. It sounds not very high, but from other point of view, if we consider that the trial was harvested at the time of the standard timing, it's something different. Because if we could wait another week, like we should wait for Delta, probably would have a much higher results. So another trial, you see always the same situation with the different varieties. So we did not, of course, different varieties respond in a slightly different way, but we practically during those 5 years, we did not find any variety which not responds to Delta. Okay, this is a pretty interesting slide because we decided to test to which extent we are able to reduce standard nitrogen fertilization and repeat it with the Delta. So if you could see, I will try to do it like this. If you could see the reduction up to just 60 kilograms of Delta, 60 kilograms of nitrogen plus 3 times Delta, we are not only working with the arable crops. So I wanted to show you a few slides regarding horticulture. I don't know how much you are interested, but anyway, it is something which really could be very interesting. There are several crops we are using, from strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, apples, cabbage, many different crops. Delta could be used. And we found out the one extremely interesting tendency. You see, pictures are telling nearly everything. And then we are coming to the yield. Again, same story. Again, same story we had with the wheat and the rape. High increasement of the yield. But the yield is yield in case of especially vegetables and the fruit production. One of the most important thing is the quality. And then what we found out is that usage of Delta drastically reducing nitrates content in the crop. And as you know, everybody are talking nitrates because nitrates in the food is something which is really very dangerous. All the food processing companies are very much strong on it, on the nitrate content. So as you see, we reached fantastic results because we grow up with the yield, and in the same time, we reduce the nitrates. Exactly same results we received on the strawberry. So you see the very big difference in case of the nitrates. I would like to now tell you a few words about the CalFlux. Martin already mentioned. This is another miracle, I would say, because if you look from the just ordinary perspective, this product contains just 5% of calcium, and we are recommending 1 liter of product. So practically, we are not applying calcium. But this product is the product which is let's say, applying calcium mechanism to the plant, not real delivering calcium. You see on the rape, it's difficult to see on this picture in this light, but this is much lower than this one, and this was just spray, one-time spray of CalFlux. Okay, here is much easier to see. There is a big difference in case of pots, because we are applying during flowering. It came from the fruits, because CalFlux was basically used at the beginning for the fruits and vegetables, especially during flowering, because it's really required a lot of calcium during that time. And we found out why not to try in rapeseed. And we found out that it's really working. So one spray gave us that kind of the difference. Yield, again, very important, but I don't know how it is in Romania, but in Poland generally, now the oil factories started to pay not only for rape, but for the oil content in rape. And what we found out, the usage of CalFlux give us the higher content of the oil, which is so much important. Higher yield, higher content of oil. And we are today all the day talking about the stress, and the plant practically all the time is in the stress. So stress means that, for instance, somebody came and took one chair from the room. So it means that only 3 guys could come to the room and sit on the chair. So we have a less calcium again. What the CalFlux is doing, the CalFlux is adding the chair. The CalFlux is not adding calcium indirect. The CalFlux is adding chair to the room. It means that another calcium can come to the room and sit and improve the yield and the quality. So that's all. I will try. Mulțumesc pentru atenție. Thank you very much.